Evening, everyone, or morning, depending on when you're watching this. So today's video, we're going to be looking at another couple of guys we want to be maybe looking at towards the summer, with a kind of short-term angle on them as well. Okay, so as you'll have seen from the video title, there's a bit of a twist to these transfer targets. They're all called, I'm thinking about calling it something like Renford rejects or Return of the Reject or something like this, and you'll kind of see the theme as we get dived right back into it. Okay, so I've kind of went through the same format that I did in the last couple of videos, and I've just went through and screenshotted everything just to cycle through like a kind of slideshow with you. Okay, and the first one we want to look at here is Suso. Okay, now Suso is somebody again whose name you're probably familiar with, is the AC Milan. He's attacking midfielder. And as you look at the 6 month graph here, he's had, some good movement over the last little period. He's kind of teetering out a little bit at a safe kind of position. Anything under 350 is looking pretty nice at the moment for him. Okay, we zoom in a little bit more to his 1 month. You can see he's really hovering around that kind of sub 350 level over the last month, mainly because AC Milan are not in Europe anymore, and a lot of the attention in the last couple of weeks has went to different players, like some of the guys that big transfer links, like the Felixes and these types of people, as well as the Champions League kind of magnets as well. He's kind of just been hovering around here, doing well on a match day, maybe popping up, not featuring, maybe dipping down. It's at a kind of safe level in a lot of respects. When we go in a little bit deeper, we see he's actually been, according to WhoScored.com, the best performing player for AC Milan this year, and that boy Piatek is snapping at his heels. If he keeps going the way he's going, then Suso will probably be overtaken, and no, that's anything to be ashamed of. On this screen as well, there's a kind of honourable mention to Bakayoko. Okay, he kind of falls in this category as well of reject. It's left the Premier League to another club, and it might come back if this embargo with Chelsea stands. He might go back to Chelsea, but if he leaves Chelsea in the summer on a permanent deal, it's probably going to be to AC Milan. Gattuso really likes him, so probably not going to feature him if we do a part 2 of this, because we had a few players identified. We're definitely doing a part 2, I should say, but whether we do a part 3, I don't think there's enough in Bakayoko to really promote him as such. But Suso, he's not had the worst season in the world. 24 appearances, they've all been starts. With his rating, you've obviously seen that already. 5 goals, 8 assists, shots per game verging on 3, dribbles per game verging on 2, and tackles per game is pretty decent for a forward player. Almost, a rating of 1. 25 Spanish international. Okay, so with him being a Spanish international, that kind of comes into it now. Okay, because he's only got 2 caps for Spain, as far as I can tell. And that was in these 2 fixtures here back in November. The Nations League game against Croatia, where they lost 3-2, he came off the bench, and then the friendly against Bosnia he started. Okay, and they were in November, and if we look back at his 6 month graph, where's the peak? It's around that November time, when he's been announced in the Spain squad. Okay, so with Spain still got squads to announce for friendlies at the end of the month, and other bits and pieces going on, international European qualifiers, and that kind of thing, then that peak is definitely there to be gotten again. Okay, he's also had some kind of tenuous links to the Premier League and the form he's had, and he's somebody who, after leaving Liverpool at quite a young age and been in Milan for so long, might fancy that he's got unfinished business, and could easily, I can see him easily playing for like a Spurs or something like this. He's a very Spurs kind of signing, somebody who's reasonably under the radar, ticks all the kind of Moneyball boxes, if you know what I mean, and quite an understated signing that could prove to be very good, kind of like a Son or a Lucas Moura, that type of mould in terms of profile. Certainly fits in with Spurs and what they normally do. Milan's fixtures for the rest of the season, the next kind of chunk you see there between now and really all the way up to Lazio in the semi-final, a lot of them are kind of big important matches. Sampdoria, AC Milan has history. There's the Derby, there's Juventus, there's Lazio, there's Parma, which again has a little bit of history just from Parma's heyday. So a lot of high profile games, and performing well in high profile games is never going to be a negative on anyone's value, and their potential media coverage as well through that international break, especially does well for Spain. If he scores a goal, sets up a goal, does well, then again these links are going to be written about 100%. The next one we're going to look at is Memphis Depay. Okay, now on the screenshot I've made sure to include that at the moment he's kind of hovering around a kind of 6 month low. With Depay, we all know who he is, and Depay's one of these people who has, and please understand what I mean when I say this, but he has kind of Pogba-like qualities on Football Index, and what I mean by that is he's definitely not shy of controversy and media attention and all this kind of thing as well, so if he was to move back to the Premier League, he's definitely got that clout as a kind of rogue figure, he's got tattoos, I'm pretty sure he likes to rap and smoke cigars and stuff. That if he was to move back to the Premier League, then he's got a lot of extra kind of stardust around him in terms of his value in the Football Index, to make him very appealing to people. You look at 7 day, and he's just really had a bit of a recovery off that floor that he's had. It's the low was 373, but you're really looking at 378 being a nice plateau where he's kind of hovered at. And if you can get him at that kind of pricing, you're doing pretty well. He popped up there. He had a goal on Sunday, yesterday, today, however you want to look at it. And match days, when that happens with anyone, you're going to get that match day spike, and then you're just looking for them to come back down. And if they don't come back down over the next couple of days, and you're going to hold at that kind of slightly more expensive level of 382, 383 rather than 378, and for 5 pence, it's no big shakes really. He's the second best player in the team on the rating wise, only bested by Fekir. And when we look right into him, he's not having a bad season again. 6 goals, 8 assists, shots per game 3, dribbles per game 1.7, tackles he's just not bothering his backside, is he? When you look at his Champions League stats at the bottom, they're okay, but his tackles per game on the Champions League was, I never quite got it in the screenshot, but it was a flat 0. So yeah, and again, who could he go to? Would he go back to Man United? It's not impossible, I suppose. He's not a Man City type player. He's probably not an Arsenal or a Chelsea type, but he could definitely, if he's leaving Lyon, he's moving to a Champions League club in any way, shape or form, and would he fancy himself to go back to the Premier League and make a name for himself? It definitely strikes me as that sort of person who wants to prove himself, in that respect. Lyon's remaining games. Now, this is the thing with Lyon and any Lyon player really, is they're 0-0 from the first leg. They've got Barcelona away. Chances of them getting through, they've got a puncher's chance, with the away goal rule and everything, but between now and then, their players, if you buy them now and then they get knocked out, you could probably find yourself regretting how early you've bought them. They could drop and become cheaper, obviously. Equally, by being knocked out, they might rise because they might just, Depay could say something, or anyone for that matter, in like a post-match interview, like, oh, I need to be playing Champions League football, and all that usual stuff that normally happens. So being knocked out isn't the be-all and end-all, depending on how the reaction goes in the media and whatever the interviews, what quotes are given out. And obviously, if they beat Barcelona, then you'll regret not buying them at this point. If you believe Lyon have got a chance and you want to back them, that's kind of where the gambling aspect of this will come back into it. Because if they put Barcelona out, then especially that two days around, then 3 days around there, there'll be some quick profit to be made on them if you're picking them up early enough. Also, they've got the Strasbourg game to go between now and then, as well as a wee buffer, so you might find them, as I say, dropping off that 383 level slightly. And then if you're able to pick them up a little bit cheaper, they do well against Strasbourg, and then you've crossed your fingers and your toes, and called on your favours with God and all that, and Lyon get through, then you're on to a winner there big time. And then even you get to the summer, and he's been in Lyon now. I've got it here. Yeah, this is his 3rd season, so him transferring away is definitely it's definitely going to be written about. Whether it happens or not is another matter, but I'd say it's more than likely if a decent enough offer comes in. Lyon are a bit of a selling club, and Lyon have got great links with who they sell their players to, mainly being Real Madrid. So even if it's not the Premier League, and imagine this guy at Real Madrid in terms of media stature and all this type of thing as well, he would be a £10 player very, very quickly. And then the last one we want to come to is Thorgan Hazard. Okay, now Hazard again is a name you're going to know for more than one reason, just with his brother and everything as well. And as you can see, over the last 6 months, he's been on a gradual, lovely little incline. And at the moment he's on a kind of he's a kind of plateau. He's kind of leveling out a little bit. We zoom in into his 3 months, and you can see where that plateau is kind of coming. Had a wee kind of low of about £4.50, got up to £5.70, and he's dropping back down now to just below that £5 mark. So it's a very attractive position to buy him at. They're now considering where his pre-established ceiling is. Even if you want to call it £5.50, that's still 10% on £5 basically, which he's at there now. The last month, if you want to zoom in on the 3 month even more, it's been decline, sorry, from, let's call it £5.60, £5.50, all the way down to where he's at now, you know, and that's just again attention moving to other people, other places. People might have held him for 30 days and had the goal bonuses and whatever, and then they've just been selling and selling and selling. He's the best rated player at Borussia Mönchengladbach as well, which isn't much of a surprise when you look at the next page. 9 goals, 8 assists in 23 games. Shots per game, let's call it 2.4. Tackles per game, 1.6. And dribbles per game, over 2, you know. So he could easily be playing for Liverpool next year, maybe Man City. He could really be playing for anyone. He ticks all the boxes on the face of this. He's hard working, he's creative, he shoots, he tackles, he dribbles. He does so much, and at the age of 25, you've still got the best years to come out of him. On paper anyway. So this guy again, Mönchengladbach's fixtures for the rest of the season, they don't have Bayern Munich, they've got Dortmund on the last game, and otherwise then in the Bundesliga, every one of these games is a flip of a coin really. You know, Leipzig's a big match, you might want to say that, but otherwise, you know, he could be doing, if he's with the numbers he's produced already this season, with the fixtures that are ahead of him, you know, you would back him more often than not to replicate that form quite easily. I had to double check his transfers page on this to make sure, but he was a Chelsea player. But when you look at his career, he's also not kicked a ball for them. But you can see this is his 5th season at Gladbach, you know, and he's had a really steady, progressive period with them where he's got better, you know. And all this page here shows you his goals, doesn't show you assists, unfortunately. But safe to say they'll be on an increase as well. He's been gradually getting better and better. And especially with the international break coming up, if he's getting in the Belgium team and making a name for himself on that level, then the fact that Gladbach aren't in Europe are really fighting for much of note, you know, they're not fighting for a title or anything like this, is not going to be a negative factor with international breaks. And the thing with Belgian players at international breaks, if you think about Eden Hazard and Lukaku, I don't know what it is, but Belgian players often seem to think if they talk to the Belgian media, no one's going to know about it. So when he's on away on an international break, he might go, oh yeah, I'm thinking about moving, or you know, anything, because Belgian players have got history for that. And then again, you will expect to see him return to that kind of £5.50, £5.70 level when that happens, if that happens. Certainly, you know, he does well for Belgium and then says something stupid to Belgian media. And knowing Chelsea, you know, they've got a good record of releasing players that come back to the Premier League and haunt them, you know. So that was part 1 for this, guys. Please subscribe to the channel, drop a comment below, interact with me. If you liked the video, drop a like, that'd be really good. If you find the tweet on Twitter for the video, retweet it, like it, all that stuff, guys, just so other people can try and find us as well. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Stay out of trouble. Hope you had a good weekend on the portfolio, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.